Come in.
Steve?
Rick, welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Hey, you look absolutely great. I hope you had time to get some rest along with that fundraising of yours.
Well, the majority of time was spent pounding the pavement trying to get that equipment.
But you did okay.
Well, I got quite a bit of it for the clinic, yes.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Sit down, sit down.
Thank you.
All right. It's good to have you back.
I'm enjoying it myself. The hospital looks the very same.
Oh, we managed to struggle along without you.
Look, thank you for giving me all that time and for not pushing me on my personal situation.
Oh, I'd never do that. Unless the personal problems became professional ones.
You feel that it's getting to that point in this particular situation?
Yeah. Monica wants to keep on working as your surgical assistant.
Well, how do you feel, your chief of staff?
Mainly it depends on you.
I've already told Monica that we will not be working together.
It has to be your decision, Rick.
Well, the problem is I don't think she's ready to accept my decision.
Would you like me to reassign her?
Yes, I think that'd be a good idea, possibly to Cunningham. She may not go for it, but that's going to be the way it has to be.
Well, I'm glad I found you.
Would you leave me alone, please, Owen?
Why, are you expecting someone for lunch?
No, I just don't happen to feel very civil at the moment.
That's not a really nice way to talk to your husband, is it, Monica?
Look, I have had a rough morning.
We all have. I want to know about your meeting with Rick. Are the games about to start all over again, or is he going to be man enough to walk away from you this time?
The man has just returned from a very exhausting trip.
I couldn't care less. I want some answers.
You know, suddenly I don't really feel very hungry.
Sit down, Monica. You're not going anywhere. I want you to tell me what Rick decided on this trip. Unless, of course, he was so concerned about his daughter, he didn't have a chance to think about you.
We were going to play cards over at Mary Ann Isley's tonight, but poor thing's come down with the flu.
Man sakes, what's that? Sound like a tractor got loose.
Well, whatever it is, it's right outside our door.
I'd say we got company. Agnes, looky here.
Mr. Whitaker.
Lloyd!
I'm Mrs. Whitaker.
I don't believe it. You wouldn't have a room to rent here or anything, would you?
Oh, you too.
Oh, we've come back home.
I'm so glad to see you. I've missed you so much.
Oh, we've missed you.
Oh, Lloyd, what are you doing standing out there in the cold? Come on in.
Well,
Come on.
I really can't tell you how good it is to see your beautiful, friendly faces.
I can imagine, Lloyd, I can imagine.
Lucy and I have a little explanation that we owe you folks. First of all, I'm not Lloyd Johnson. My real name is Luke Spencer, and this angel is Laura...
Spencer. We know all about that. Instead of Mr. and Mrs. Lloyd Johnson, you're Mr. and Mrs. Luke Spencer. Guess what? Your room is all ready and waiting for you, just the way you left it. Now, come on down and let's have some lunch.
Lunch? My old chair.
Yes.
My old chair.
How about some coffee?
That's about it. We felt that, you know, we better get on back to Port Charles because I'm sure that the police have a few questions for us, but we really wanted to stop here first and explain everything to you folks.
I still am disappointed to hear about Hutch being a hired killer and following you two. Well, we cared about him just as if he were our son.
Think we could be so wrong about a person.
We believed in him, too. He had us all fooled.
Well, even knowing what we know now, I'm sorry he's dead.
Me too. But Hutch just got himself in a little too far. He couldn't get out.
Well, if you don't mind my asking, what happens now?
Well, now we catch our breath, and then we find out if it's safe to go back home.
Well, I didn't hear the news this morning. Did you, Agnes?
No, I didn't either.
You know you're welcome to stay here as long as you want.
Thank you, sir. That sounds so good.
What about that little black book you were telling us about?
Well, I already mailed that ahead to Port Charles to a friend of ours, Joe Kelly. He's a detective. So the next thing we'll do is we'll call him and we'll see what's going on back home.
And see if it's safe for you to go home, you mean?
Luke,
Laura, that's what we do. And if everything's okay, we have to go back.
Cliff Stoddard sold you out?
Looks that way right now, Rose.
Joe.
Yeah. I never would have thought for a minute it would be my good buddy, Cliff. But there he was, bright and early this morning at Smith Enterprises. He's been in the hip pocket of the organization all the time.
And every time you tried to get
He
somewhere...
was right there to sidetrack anyone or anything that got a little bit close.
Don't go away.
Hey, Rosie, I need more coffee. What's the holdup?
I'll get the phone.
Thanks.
Kelly's Diner.
Joe, is that you?
Yeah, this is Joe Kelly. Who is this?
It's Luke, Joe. Luke Spencer?
Hey, listen, whoever this is, if this is some kind of a joke.
Oh, wait, oh, come on. This is no joke, man. It's me. How are you?
Lucas, how am I? How are you? Where are you? How's Laura?
We're fine. We're both all right. Laura's right here. You want to talk to her?
Yeah, please.
Joe?
Laura?
Oh, it's so good to hear your voice.
I can hardly understand yours. Are you crying?
No. How's my mom?
Oh, she's worried sick about you.
I called her once.
Yeah, she told me.
Yeah. I'd like to call her now, except, well, I really don't know what to say.
All she wants to know is that you're all right.
I am now.
She really loves you, you know.
I love her, too. Tell her that, okay?
Okay.
Here, I think Luke wants to talk to you.
Okay, you take care of yourself.
Joe, look, did you get the message that I mailed you the black book this morning?
Well, I got the message that you were gonna mail it, yeah, and that you decoded it?
Yeah, I decoded part of it, and I sent it to you. Special delivery, registered mail, the whole bit. It's got the key with it to decode it. I figured, man, you're the only person I can trust. You're the only one. It's dynamite, Joe. It's really important. It's gonna crack the whole organization, every one of Frank Smith's operations.
All right. Well, if it's that good, I'm glad you don't have it on you.
Oh, no, man. It's, life is a little too short for that.
Yeah. Hey, listen here. You know, you're one hell of a man to track down, Spencer.
Oh, yeah? You've been trying?
Yeah, well, who hasn't? Captain Ramsey got as far as Beecher's Corners.
Oh, well, that's where we are now. We're at the Whitaker's farm. That's where we stayed before.
All right. Look, could you lay low there for about 24 hours?
Yeah, sure. I think we can. I really wanted to check the situation out with you at home.
Yeah, well, I think I found the leak in the police department.
You have?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay. The black book will confirm it.
Oh, I hope so. That's why I need the 24 hours.
You got him, pal. Look, thank you. I've been waiting for somebody for a long time to tell me to take a day off from thinking I was going to be murdered, you know.
Hey, Spencer, you old dog, take yourself a day off from worrying about being murdered.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Look, just, it's Whitaker's farm. Is there a phone number or anything where I could reach you?
Well, there's a phone here, but I don't, there's no number on it. But look, just check information. There's only one Whitaker's farm. We're way out in the country. Beecher's Corners.
Okay, I got it. No problem.
I've been waiting to hear from you, Joe.
I'm waiting to see you, too. You know that?
Yeah, well, look, when I see you, take a shower, will you?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so long.
So long.
We did it. We made it.
We made it.
Oh. Baby, it's gonna be okay in 24 hours. We're going home.
Oh, no.
That's right. And you're not gonna have to worry anymore about hitmen or running, staying in cheap motels, having no ketchup for your French fries. You won't have to worry about anything, baby.
It's almost too good to be true.
It's true. It's true. Believe it.
I love you.
I love you.
Oh, I love you.
Mr. Smith? It's me, Hutch. Yeah, I'm still around. I have a job to finish for you. I will get the black book for you, and I'll kill both Luke and Laura. Sally's already dead. Luke and Laura will be next.
Sure I can't get you anything?
You can leave me alone. That's what you can do.
There's no chance of that, Monica. I'll sit here all day if that's what it takes.
Well, I have surgery scheduled this afternoon. Sorry.
What, with Rick?
You know he's not back on rotation yet.
Dr. Quartermain?
Yes?
Steve Hardy just called and he asked me to give you this message.
Oh, thank you.
What is it?
Steve wants to see me in his office. Meeting in a second.
Any idea what it's about? It isn't just Steve that wants to see you in his office. He wants to see you with Rick. Now, that's very interesting, Monica.
Can't believe it. It's already gone to Steve.
Why don't you tell me what he said? I'm going to find out eventually anyway.
He wants me reassigned.
What, to Cunningham?
To anybody in cardiology. He does not want me to be his assistant in surgery anymore. Okay, you're satisfied?
Well, what do you know? It seems that the good doctor does have his redeeming values.
He's going to want me eventually, Ellen. He is going to want me.
Well, until that momentous day occurs, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to make sure that you behave yourself in public because insofar as the rest of the world is concerned, you're Mrs. Allen Quartermain, and don't you ever forget it. You act like a respectable, loving mother of my son. Do you understand? Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
That's fine. That's just fine. Now, are you sure you would like something to eat, Monica? You're going to have a long day ahead.
Oh, Alan, I'm so touched by your concern.
After all, you are my wife. Darling, I'm always concerned about members of my family. Speaking of which, Alexandria should be arriving in a few weeks.
Oh, goody.
I want you to check with Stella and make sure that the West Wing is prepared with her. And when she does arrive, Monica, I want you to be civil with her.
Well, Alan, I will do the very best I can.
You make sure that you do. I don't think you'll have much difficulty doing that. Alex is all right. She's a little bit unpredictable. Actually, I think it's going to be quite amusing to have my lovely young cousin living in the house with us for a while.
Quartermain, what is it?
Well, what does it look like, Stella?
What looks like a coffin.
Well, that's exactly what it is, all right. A mummy case. Oh, that Alexandria.
What are we going to do with it?
Well, I think we ought to leave it right here in the entry, don't you?
Oh, sir.
Well, I don't know. Kind of gives the house an Egyptian flavor, don't you think?
Coffin?
Well, knowing Alex, it was probably a gift from some Egyptian prince. Let's see what this letter has to say. My dearest Uncle Edward, I decided to send you this little trinket given to me by the most adorable Egyptian prince. Now, see? What did I tell you? I know this niece of mine.
Well, you certainly seem to.
Oh, she has the most marvelous spirit of adventure and delight that you'll ever find.
Well, anybody who sends ostriches and monkeys and coffins.
Well, let's see what else she has to say. Given to me by the most adorable Egyptian prince, yes, here we are, who has been pleading with me to marry him. I told him that is impossible since I must have the permission of my one and only and thus favorite Uncle Edward. Do you know, he believed me. I hope you're as excited to see me as I am to see you. Perhaps we'll supply a much-needed change of pace for each other. And just between you and me, Uncle, I'm hoping you can help me find a very special person to fill a very important need. Make sure they're as independent, trustworthy, and free-spirited as I am. I'm counting on you. Well, see you soon. With love, Alexandria.
You're really looking forward to her visit, aren't you, Mr. Quartermain?
She's going to bring a lot of spice and excitement into our lives. I am sure of that. Let's see what's in it, huh?
Oh, no.
Come on, Stella. Come on. Don't be an old fraidy. Come on.
Still the same. Here we are, Angel. Home, sweet home.
Oh, for 24 hours anyway. Oh, I do feel at home here.
Do you feel safe?
I always feel safe enough with you.
Oh. I'm glad we came back here.
So am I.
You know, we owe the Whitakers a lot. They didn't have to welcome us back into their home. They don't know Luke and Laura.
Well, that's true. We're Luke and Laura now, aren't we? There's no more Lloyd and Lucy Johnson.
Afraid not.
You know, the Whitakers thought that we were married. They called me Mrs. Spencer.
How did it sound?
Wonderful.
You didn't deny it.
I was embarrassed.
Yeah? Well, you know, I have a decision to make. I have to find out which of these ladies I like best, you know? Now, this lady I like a lot. I know her pretty well. This is Mrs. Lloyd Johnson, my wife. And this lady I don't know quite as well, but I want to know her. I really want to know Mrs. Luke Spencer.
Is there a difference?
I don't know yet. The answer to that question is too important. I need more research. More research. Two ladies have a lot in common.
Well, I certainly hope so.
They both feel wonderful in my arms. They both smell like new mown hay. And they both taste fantastic.
So which one do you want to marry?
I can't decide. Maybe I'll marry them both.
It's bigamy.
I'll take my chances. Are you ready to take this ring off?
I'm sure you both realize why I've called this meeting.
Think so?
Monica, Rick and I met a little while ago, and we discussed your future as his surgical assistant.
I see.
At his request, I'm having you transferred to assist Dr. Cunningham from now on.
Steve,
Monica,
look,
Monica, I do have to admit that there's something about this that still bothers me, which is why I call this meeting. Now, I can't afford to have doctors on my staff who can't work together in emergency situations. My first responsibility is always with the patients. And if for some reason I feel that the level of care in any emergency is jeopardized, I would have to reevaluate the staff.
you mean that one of us would have to resign? Is that what you're saying?
If you decided that you cannot work together in harmony, that just might be the case.
I think we both understand that, Steve.
I hope so. Now, if you'll please excuse me.
Sure.
Well, I would hope that neither one of us would have to consider leaving.
I don't think the situations would be that often. Emergency room.
No?
Would you be able to handle yourself professionally if that situation did arise?
Would I? Rick, whatever thoughts you may have about me. Look, well, we have been an excellent team.
As a surgical team, yes, but Steve does have a valid point. Now, I will be able to handle myself professionally. Will you be able to do the same?
Yes, I'm sure I could. I know I
Then
could.
fine, I will tell Steve.
And we could be a surgical team, Rick.
Not on a regular basis, period.
What are you trying to do? What, humiliate me professionally?
I'm doing this for my own self-respect.
Okay, Rick. All right, maybe you can walk away from me professionally. But you cannot deny that when we're together in a room, that there is chemistry between us. You want me, Rick. You know you do.
I want to help my daughter. And every free moment I have, I will spend that time trying to locate her.
Oh, you're destroying me, Princess. You are. Stop it.
Well, don't go away.
Sorry, darling, this is self-preservation. I mean, man gotta take care of himself. Yeah, we got one down, but we get the big one to go, you know?
What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this engagement ring, which you gave to me in some shady little mountain cabin a whole lifetime ago, don't you remember?
I remember a lot of nights when I wanted to take off my wedding ring.
But you didn't. And I can't take it off for you. Mm-mm. No, you gotta take it off yourself. It's your responsibility. You have to take off the ring when you're ready. And I'll tell you something else, a man can wait a long time, and you know I have waited. However, I have reached the limit of my patience. I wait no more. This is it. I can't wait anymore. I can't. But we've come too far together for me to beg you. It has to be right for both of us.
I have never loved anyone the way I love you.
I believe you. Oh. We know each other so well, don't we? I lived with your weakness. I've lived with your strength. And you're the only person in my whole life who will ever hear me cry in my sleep. Because I'm afraid. And you know how much my body has ached for you. How much I've longed to touch you. But we waited. And waited and waited and waited and waited! Because it had to be right. You had to want me. Just like I want you.
I do. You know that.
If we make love, it's a commitment for our whole lives. Not for just a night.
I want that. I do. I want us to be free to be together. But I'm afraid, Luke. Can't we just go to another place? Can't we just go on from here? Go someplace else?
No, baby, we can't. You know we can't. We can't. We have to go back. And I know that you're afraid to face Scott. But, baby, I'll be with you. I will. I'm not ever going away. Can't you forget the past?
I'm going to try.
No, Angel, that isn't good enough.
Luke, wait a minute. Where are you going?
Look, I gotta go. I'm gonna have to go downstairs because I need to leave you alone for a while.
No, I don't need to be alone.
Oh, yes, you do. You have to be alone because you've got a lot of thinking to do and I can't be here while you do it. You are a woman, Laura. You're not a little girl. The decision is yours. It's yours. You decide what you want, and then you come and tell me. You either come after me or break my heart. But don't you wait too long.